Okay. I think we're good. Yeah. Looks good. Looks good. All right. This is where I figure out what I forgot to do already, which feel like it's all set up right, which is kind of weird. Feel like there must be something I'm missing. Uh, Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hello. I'm a practical eccentric and I'm here for Dreamlight Valley because because why not? Because that's what we're doing now. All right, I need to make sure that all of my screens are set up. I've changed my setup on my second monitor. So I'm just like, is this right? Do I know? Theoretically, yes. So, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone is doing well this time, this day, night, wherever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling very subdued. That may or may not last. We'll see how energetic I get. But I've been feeling kind of run down all week, so yeah, feeling subdued. Definitely need some chill time. Definitely need the relaxation that this game can provide. So why don't we start with the quote of the night? The quote of the night is: Perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. And that is from Walter Elliott. And the reason that I picked this quote is because I have been feeling run down all week. Like part part of it's just normal stuff and part of it's just like battling against overwhelm, and not necessarily in a I'm letting it really like kind of cripple me or bum me out entirely, but the quote, is kind of like how I've been thinking about feeling run down all week. Like I was like, oh no, did I finally hit that wall I usually hit in the winter where I just want to turn into a hermit? Like I don't want to do much. I don't want to take on new projects. I start to feel stressed out, start to really overthink things. And this whole week, it's just been like, nope, just do the next thing on your list. Nope, just do the next thing on your list. Like you don't have to tackle all of the things at once. You can just do the next thing and then do the next thing and then do the next thing. Because if I start to think about it as a unit, then I will definitely let the overwhelm get me. And I don't want that. So there's a couple of quotes I have that are kind of in a similar vein where it's just like, just because you conquer one thing does not mean that there's not another thing waiting. But that's normal. That's a normal thing. And so instead of letting the next thing, next thing, next thing start to overtake my thinking, it's just don't don't worry about the next things. They're going to be there anyway, whether or not you get overwhelmed about thinking about them and then freeze, or if you just check the next little thing off your list, check the next little thing off your list. So I've been focusing on those little races, because it's just a series of little things one after the other, and that is okay. You can survive it while you're feeling low energy, and eventually your energy will pick back up. Part of it's been tied to the weather, because we've been having 70-degree weather for like 2 or 3 days, and then it'll freeze and then snow. So, like, that's happened 3 times in the last 2 weeks, where it's just like 70 degrees, sunny, everything's starting, like, stuff starting to grow, and I'm starting to get motivated, and then it'll the temperature will just drop. I mean, it went from 70 on Tuesday to 50 Wednesday morning, and by evening it was snowing. Now, it didn't stick. It didn't do much of anything because it was rain to snow. but it was still just like the hell, man. But next week looks like it's gonna, we're gonna start moving back up. I think tomorrow is 60 something, and then like high 60s over the weekend, and then back into the 70s. I even saw an 81 high sometime next week. I want to say it's a week from tomorrow in the forecast. Now, that could always change, but it's just like, okay, so next week, at least nature wise, it should be moving in a more positive, energetic direction. And I know that the potential is there as long as my bandwidth goes with it to feel more productive and motivated next week. So, although this week has felt very much like a okay, just get through the next thing, just get through the next thing. I know those things don't last, and I can just trust that if I just keep ticking little things off my checklist, that I'll, come out the other side feeling better about it rather than freezing up, doing nothing, um, letting all of the funk overtake me because I'll be further behind once the energy kicks in if I don't do the checklists, those little check boxes. So, although I'm not like, wee right now, energetically speaking, I am still handling this mode better than old me would have done. So I can feel pretty good about that and just, accepting that, highs and lows are normal, you know, more things to come is normal, you know. So anyway, like I said, not feeling too hyped tonight, but I am feeling pretty good about my Starpath progress. I have reached the end of the duties. I won't be able to finish this completely tonight because I do have this gifting villagers, and I actually made a point of not working on stuff. The only thing I worked on this morning was the Remy restaurant people, meals, serving them. Yeah, there we go. Because I think I had 6 out of 15 this morning, and there were 4 people in the restaurant this morning. So I was like, well, I'm going to do that. But I know I need memories. I know I need these gems, and then I need more Dreamlight, which I need more Dreamlight. So the fact that I have a duty related to it is not necessarily a bad thing. So, I just know I can't finish this particular duty because I need 2 more days to finish it. And I will say this. Although these seemed very overwhelming, there were, I don't remember exactly. I think there might have been 3 that were 27 gifts and 3 that were 18 gifts. I don't remember now. Once I realized I had done my math wrong and that it was really only 3 days apiece, it felt better. I mean, some of them wanted some stuff, and I could have taken longer on it. It would have been fine if I had done that. But, I went ahead and just gave everybody their 3 daily gifts, so it made it 3 days each. So I still have plenty of time in the Starpath. I really could have made it, let it take longer, but I was there. I had the stuff. I went ahead and just dealt with it. But yeah, if there's 27 gifts, it was 3 characters, and if it was 18 gifts, it was 2 characters. So both of those translated into 3 days of gift giving if you gave all the characters all their daily gifts. So that's, I know there's going to be people that really don't like it, and it's fair. It's, a mixed bag, especially when they want fancy stuff like shiny gems. Like, please don't ask for shiny gems, but they did it, Which means that if I'd taken more time on them, I, wouldn't have had to give those, but meh. I was not in the mode of being stingy with my shiny gems, and I think only a couple of them. Speaking of shiny gems, Aladdin's cart, and I think I already got all of the gems off of Aladdin's cart today. Yeah, it's already done. So there's 6 things, and the 4 that are on the left, so the 2 on the left and then the 2 in the middle, so those ones are all, you can buy like 5 copies of each of them. And then the 2 that are on the right end up being shiny or onyx, But I did have a day where they were both shiny gems. So I was convinced there for a while that it was just going to be a shiny gem and an onyx, and that was all you were ever going to get. But the potential is there for them both being shinies. Now you only get one of them. But I'm glad that it's not just always onyx and then one shiny gem. I will say that it's only happened once that I can remember where I got 2 shiny gems as options, but it's at least better than always being onyx, even if it's mostly onyx, so. I don't find I need onyx a lot, but I'm sure there's something I'm not crafting that other people might be really glad that they're getting an extra onyx every day. So, I'm going to start with gifts. Who is it? Villagers from the islands. So that's going to be Stitch and Moana and Maui. Nuts and bolts, perch and pink luminescent flower. Royal iced tea, spinach and crab. And Stitch. What the hell? Did I pass him? I must have passed him. Oh, he's above. He's above them, and I completely spaced him. Okay. Blue Star Lily, Sweet Udon, and Blue Demon Snippet. Alright, I have all of that stuff. So I'm going to go to my house and get that stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well, whether or not you're energetic or not in the moment. Hopefully you are taking time for yourself. That's one of the things about streaming. For me, this is like some just me time. Just a little bubble universe of me time. And I don't always... Well, before I started streaming and really trying to stick to the streaming plan, as it were, my schedule, I would sacrifice me time when I probably shouldn't have. Alright, are they in here? I think they might be in the refined materials room. Okay. They're in... There's a ton of snippets. Did I do it by color? Or did I do it by type of snippet? I must have done it by type of snippet. Not type of snippet, by color. Alright. I could look at my spreadsheet, but... Wait, what? Green Demon. The list I used to create my... There it is. To create my layout of storage in here did not include some of the snippets, so I didn't end up making space. So they're out of order at the moment. Okay. So I think everything else is food or flowers. Flowers are upstairs. Did any of them want gems? I don't think so. Pretty sure flowers are up here. So let's see. I'm a little bit behind right now. I did get my dream snap for the week done. It is it my private oasis or something like that? My lost oasis. Oh, I didn't make it lost. I made it private. Well, maybe it could be considered lost. I don't know. Beachy Resort does not sound like a lost oasis. Unless it's like a little secret beachy area. Anyway, I had fun doing that one this week. Pink luminescent flower. That's what I'm looking for. Alright. Is it on the end? It is. Oh, just transfer. That's just already one. Is that the only flower I had? Blue Star Lily. Okay. And then everything else is food. Blue. I feel like it's going to be on the end. Yep. Okay. But I had fun doing that, although I should have finished editing and everything this morning, but I've just been running behind this week. I think part of it's because my kids are on spring break, so I'm not getting up nearly as early, which means my wake-up window is getting kind of mushed into my productive window in the morning, and so I've been not accomplishing it. Part of it is because I've been feeling run down. Spinach. Is that here? There we go. And part of it's just because I'm not a morning person, so mornings are always a struggle. I get up better now than I used to. Is there another just food, or is it all cooked after that? Sweet udon. Perch. Nuts and bolts. Royal okay, so I need crab and perch, but that's still on this floor. Okay. So I've just been running behind. Like, I haven't started decorating the next the next room I'm gonna do. That is a lobster. Perch is somewhere in here. But I'll get to it. I'll start on it tomorrow. And then finish it up on Saturday. Hoping the kids get to go see my parents this weekend. My son messaged them and they said, well, we don't have time before the next weekend, so hopefully they'll get to... And I don't know if that was set in stone or if that was just we hope to do that, so we'll see. I know I have a sweet udon in here. Oh, why am I not seeing the faces I need to see? Maybe they're... Oh, there's Maui. Okay. I don't think Stitch had a meal to make. Oh, wait. Stitch does have sweet udon. What did Moana need? She wanted that nuts and bolts fit. Is that... Let's just do nuts. Wasn't that what she wanted? Okay. That was interesting. It didn't have her face next to it until I switched that filter. I would assume that it would have had it, but no. It did not. This is not what you need. You need this. Okay, double checking that I've gotten everything. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's go gift these people their things, even though that is the one duty I won't be able to finish tonight, in theory. But that means I'll finish it tomorrow. So I'm really torn right now. Part of the thing I've been chipping away at is cleaning up my garage space. I've gotten it mostly cleaned up. Like, if I wanted to do a filming in there or a stream in there tonight, I could have. It's not in, like, perfect shape, but there's a lot of stuff I need to make sure all of my software and stuff is updated, my computer's ready to go. So it would have been a struggle, and since I've been feeling low energy this week, I was like, don't do that. But I thought I would need more time, and I'm wondering if I might be able to figure out how to get a craft stream done on Sunday instead of a game stream. Now, that'll depend a lot on how the next couple of days go, if my energy levels start to pick up, depending on if I get stuff caught up or if I feel like I'm still behind, because that can affect my energy levels too. So I'd like to. I told my husband that my goal was to start doing art streams again in April, which gives me theoretically 2 whole weekends, right? Yeah, 2 whole weekends to feel comfortable enough with it. And then I started chipping away at what needed to be done, and that's why I was like, wait, am I actually closer to getting started on this than I previously had thought? And the answer is maybe. So we'll see. We'll see what the next couple days bring, and maybe I'll... Because it's been, I don't know,
Good day to surf.
4 months, 5 months as I've worked out there on any of my projects. So there's part of me that's like, I surely must be forgetting something. I mean, I still need to, like, clean my desks, like, actually clean them. And, like, dust. And pick up some other little things. But I have some stuff that I want to add to my decorating this year out there. And, but that requires getting out a ladder and making time to get up and down on it, which is stressful because my garage floor has some drains in it, so it's actually uneven and can be kind of difficult to get up and down and maneuver it around, and, you know, I've got leaves still that I need to clean, like sweep out, and I've got a couple little throw rugs out there that need to be cleaned, and, you know, there's just stuff that needs to be done, but it may or may not need to get done before I actually stream out there or film out there, and, yeah, I'm going to give myself the next couple of days to really think about it and do whatever other stuff to get done on it. And just, oh, this is not where I need to go. Before really deciding. And we follow our whims here, so Sunday may roll around and I may get out of bed and go, I don't feel like doing extra.
Molly
Which,
always
setting up
has
to stream in the
time for
garage
his
is
things.
extra. So, I will just play it by ear at this moment. And honestly, even if I'm done with the Starpath by then, there's still lots. I still need tons of Dreamlight. I still could use resources. Like, there's always still more to do in this game. I never feel like... I don't think I'll ever feel like it's done, you know? Ugh. It's a premium shop this week. I think I don't know if I'm going to be able to get moonstones anytime soon. I was starting to think about it. Somebody had recommended a game to me, and I was trying to think about it because it's not terribly expensive. It's on sale, but it's not terribly expensive even when it's not on sale. Ooh, is that all 5 people already? Are you kidding me? And these dishes aren't terribly complicated. Oh, there is something I want to try out because it made me feel like a demi. And, nope, that is not what I need to do. I need to make this one. I've never used the history button. And I am curious about how it actually functions while I'm trying to figure out a new recipe. Ooh, oh, that's just a regular shrimp. I was like, oh no, is that a Prisma shrimp? Because I had to gift a pretty pink starfish, and it was my last one that was inside my house storage, and I'm like... I hope I have some more of those, because I don't have a ton. But that leads me back to there's always more to do. I could go fishing. I could go, you know, work on duties in Eternity Isle, or I could get mist, or, you know, like, there's always more stuff to do in this game. And, yeah, so even if I finish the Starpath and I don't feel like doing craft stream, and honestly, I could even follow a whim and play a different game. But... I'm having to restrict myself budgetarily. Is that the right word? I don't think that's the right way to phrase that. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy that game while it's on sale. I think today is the last day of the sale. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about that out loud. I'm not going to be able to get it while it's on sale. Which is unfortunate, because it's not terribly expensive. But part of my problem this week has been realizing that there's some other stuff that I really need to take care of. I might have to pay a little bit more on one of my bills. And I just had to buy myself new glasses, and I popped a filling in one of my teeth.
Here. We gotta move.
And I'm experiencing some pretty significant tooth pain at the moment, so I probably should get that addressed quickly. And one of my cars needs tags. Like it needs to have stickers for my tags, and so I have to get it inspected. And there's somebody hit the back one of my rear lights.
Let's do this again soon.
While it was parked on the street, and so that needs to be replaced or it won't pass inspection. And then he also found that there was another part that's going to need to be replaced, which is a minimum a couple of $100. So, I mean, there's a lot of kind of big, important expenses that I've got to deal with here. So, although purchasing a game for, like, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 bucks or purchasing a pack of moonstones for 30 bucks doesn't sound like a huge expense, I really need to prioritize budget for those other things. And if I don't get the sale, or I miss out on the outfit, or I miss out on premium shop, that's just how it has to be. And it'll be okay. Like, would it be more fun to buy the fun stuff? Yeah, it absolutely would. But not at the price of pain, not at the price of my car needing I mean, car prices right now are ridiculous and have been. So I really need to make sure my car stays in functioning order. Like, those things are really important. So, you know, one day I'll get those other things. And I can be patient. I usually am about stuff. I just, you know, there's that excitement. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I want the new thing. But, you know, that's the joy of being adult, is that, you know, you grow up and you wish that, you know, you could make your own rules, and your parents always tell you what to do, and then you move out and then you realize now you have to parent yourself, and it's so much harder than having someone else make those rules for you, because now you have to make your own rules and it sucks. Okay, what do I want to work on next? I'm thinking about the garden. So maybe I should just go ahead and find a gardener, because this might give me memories. And then we can switch to mining, so I can get, what color gems are they? White and green gems. So I'll do that, and I'm hoping those things will lead me to some memories. So who's around that can garden? I could go get Jasmine. It'd be nice if someone was just running around. Oh. Is Bella a gardener, or is she a forager? Don't remember. Hello?
Oh, what a wonderful day for an adventure.
She is a gardener. Good for me. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, so the other thing I actually tested out for my Dream Snap this week was the offsetting the time. And somebody had mentioned it at one point, that they always have their time set for daylight, so they almost never play at nighttime. Like, and it's a setting in the graphics menu, and it tells you explicitly. Let me see if I can get there. That effects visuals only. Gameplay will remain synced with your local time. So you can offset the time of day, and if you roll it back, like where I am right now, it's 7:45 approximately. So if I rolled this back 7 hours, it would be at about 12:45, which means the light would be completely different. So I thought about using that before once they had mentioned it, because I don't know if I just never noticed this, or if this wasn't there all the time. It's possible I just never noticed. But that way, if you want daylight for your Dream Snaps, but you only get to play at night, you can still do that, which is actually what I did for my Dream Snaps this week. Since it was an Oasis thing, I wanted it to be bright out, but it's harder for me to film my Dream Snaps and actually snap the picture during the day. So, considering what my current schedule is. So, I messed with that, and it worked out great. So I just have to remember that for when I'm like, oh man, it'd be so nice if I had more light. Now, I don't always mind. I don't mind if it's not daytime. But for a lot of snaps, it can make a big difference. Like the take a hike one would have been kind of fun to do in the day, like in daylight. But I like the fact that it looked like, she was like parking her RV and would be hiking the next day or something, So, but yeah, if you're not utilizing that, and you also have limited windows where you can do your Dream Snaps, or if you don't like having it be dark in the game, like if you would rather it feel like daytime while you're playing, you can always change that. It doesn't mess with anything. It doesn't accelerate anything or change like actual gameplay, but can be a useful tool, and you might as well use it if it's there, right? Alright. I feel like the first day of the new Starpath, I was getting a lot of memories, and it feels like it's chilled out, which is not super helpful when I have duties about getting memories, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm ready for warmer weather, that's for sure. Or at least consistent. I don't mind if it's 50s, 60s, as long as it stays 50s, 60s. This whole 70 and then could be 30 the next day. Like the forecast for Wednesday was low of 30, high of 61 with rain/snow. And I was just like, what? That just doesn't seem right. So, last year was really weird too. This year has been a little less weird than last year. Last year for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months straight, starting in January, it was like that constantly. It was like half a week of warm and then followed by half a week of freezing. And it was just like that for pretty much 4 to 5 months straight. And it was, I don't know, just difficult to deal with. Just mentally. Because, you know, once winter is over, I'm ready. Spring is my second favorite season. And by the time we get there, I'm just like, okay, please, let's just get some more sun. Let's open the windows. Let's air out the house. You know, let's breathe some fresh air and touch grass and do all of those things. My kid's been looking forward to it, too. He got to ride his bike a bit. But then last night, he kept opening the front door and going, oh my god, this is so awful, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, close the dang door. It's like freezing outside right now. And I pay for the heat around here, damn it. All right. I feel like keep thinking I should change people's outfits. Ariel's dress is very formal, but I like the fact that it's pink, because pink feels like spring to me. Oh, at least I got some of the other bonus. Right. Oh, I might actually finish getting all of my seeds planted. I might have to actually go purchase seeds. It's been a bit. I don't know. A month or more since I've purchased seeds. I haven't been gardening and stuff as much because the Lucky You thing took over for a while, and then some of the, since I was working on some of the Starpath duties, that also took over for a while. And my window of time has not changed. If nothing, it has shrunk. Or if anything, it has shrunk. That's probably the right way to phrase that. Oh, I thought it was a bonus situation. Look, 2 more memories. See? Gardening will help us get where we need to go. Good for us. But yeah, I'm glad we're almost there as far as the Starpath. I feel like I pushed it, not that I needed to push it this fast. So I think that's part of the reason it doesn't bother me as much as I know it bothers some people. Because I feel like I'm still doing it faster than it needs to be done. So even though some of those duties are kind of obnoxious or seem larger than necessary, I still feel like I have plenty of time and I'm just excited to get through it, you know? Maybe not like... Maybe excited isn't the right word, because I'm not like, yeah, I have to go gift 27 gifts. But I'm still, like, eager enough to get through the path to just be like, okay, this is what we're doing. So I feel like that's okay for me. But I may be in the minority as far as that's concerned. I really don't know. It's hard to know how many people don't mind it or are, like, feeling good about it, because usually what you see the most of is people complaining. Which is, you know, negative stuff usually gets more attention than positive stuff just across the board, so I don't know. And I know some of, like, kind of like me, the things that bother me are not the things that bother everybody. Do I want to do this? I kind of want to just eat one of these. These lobster rolls are kind of difficult to get rid of. I mean, I could sell them, I guess. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Because they fill almost both the regular food bar and the stamina bar. So I have to wait till I'm completely drained, which I don't like letting myself run out of the stamina stuff just in case I get the bonus. I don't want to miss out on the bonus, and not being able to glide around is not helpful because I can't actually get to all of them without it. So I will wait till I'm planting to eat more lobster rolls. Theoretically, I will run out of energy completely. And there's no bonuses while planting, so. I've almost used up all the lobster rolls, though. Alright. Not too shabby. Give me these. We got 3 of them down here. Nice. See, all I had to do was say I wasn't getting a ton of them, and then they start giving them to me. And just speak it into existence. Give me more memories. How many is that? Is that 5, 6 now that I have? I think I need 15 though, right? Yeah. Oh, 9. I got 9 out of 15. Okay. Excellent, excellent. I'll take it. Obviously. Bye. Alright, so I'm gonna go put stuff away. I don't know if I'll need any of this stuff, but it's always good to put it away. Or to check, I should say, before selling it. Alright. That is the end of the Monster Energy drink. It's the end of it. Food. I was like, wait, where am I going again? Honeydew melon. It's probably somewhere around here. Okay, that's G. And then we got pineapple. Ah. I couldn't remember what was in between. Alright, potato. Potato. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Oh, look at me using up pumpkins. Radicchio and radish. Ooh. I really need to do some. I need to do some fruit picking. Is that it? That's it. All right, excellent. Let's go sell off the excess. And replant all the seeds I have and then see where we're at. Because we might need to buy more seeds. Should I just go ahead and buy more seeds now?
Howdy.
Probably. I probably should. Don't sell that. Okay. Luckily, I haven't been spending a ton of money. So that's helpful. Alright. Tried and true. Buy all the pumpkin seeds you can. Everything that will fit in my inventory. It's usually over 1,000. It's like 1,100, 1,200, something like that. So that's a chunk of change, but then, you know, the return is worth it. Although since I'm out of mist points, it might be a pain in the butt. Ooh, can I get? Ooh, how many can I get? Holy crap, is it more? Oh, you know what? I bet I have a lighter inventory than I did before. Okay, there we go. So 17 to fill it out. It might be 67, but I'm not going to bother with that. since they go in stacks of 50. Excellent. Let's go take those and deposit them in the chest. And then plant all the crap that's left over from my last seed buying extravaganza. Right. My husband got me different sparkling water because our store was sold out of my regular stuff. And so I thought it was lemon because the can is yellow, and I was like, this tastes really weird for lemon, but I mean, not bad, but just weird. Yeah, it's pineapple. If you can't tell, I've been off all week. That is a way to tell. I think it was on the second can of it before I realized that it was not lemon. Oh, man. Well, and I've had some unexpected time off needs, so I think part of my problem, too, is that I might have had some more, like, strategic, like, 3 or 4 day weekends by now. And I keep having to take random time off, like the kids get a snow day, and I have to, well, I don't have to take the time off, but school at home is a thing. It's like a whole ordeal. And I don't always have to take, I can work from home. I don't have to actually take the day off, but the days I did take off for school at home, necessary. There was one day that I didn't get the final verdict on my son, my oldest's work, until 8:30 at night. And I was dealing with, like, emailing back and forth and getting messages through some of the apps that some of the teachers use. You know, having to wait for people to get back to me. It was just a whole thing. So I'm glad I took that day off, because that day was stressful for, like, really no good reason. But that means that I have to sacrifice usually what I do is I plan out my whole year's time off at the beginning of the year, including a time I save for the next year. Like, I'm trying to, like, build up a small pad of extra PTO, because we can do that in case some year in the future I end up needing extra time off for whatever reason. And I also take a week off in January usually, so I also save time off for that. But then I plan in, this is the extra day I'll take for around the holidays, for my kids' birthdays or my birthday or whatever, so that I know exactly how much wiggle room I have, but also, like, where I can plug in some extra time. So usually I'll be like, here's a random day for March, because there's really not any holidays. There aren't paid holidays in March. So in between, I don't know, I think there's a paid holiday in January, apart from New Year's. Well, New Year's Eve anyway. So I think between that one and, is it Memorial Day? There are no holidays, paid holidays. So I usually build in, like, an extra day for March and April, so that I can get a 3-day weekend here or something, like, here or there. And whether or not I actually take it or not, changes. But it's nice to, kind of build in a little extra, a longer weekend if you can, if you have that ability, which I usually do, but not this year. I had to take a random Wednesday off, like, well, there goes that 3-day weekend. So I think that's part of what is making me feel run down, is I spent years working jobs that didn't have PTO or didn't have very much PTO, didn't have sick days. I worked 3 jobs, 2 to 3 jobs, and I worked between 6 and 7 days a week. So I worked doubles, I worked days, I worked nights, I worked weekends, all of it without paid time off. And it was a lot, and it was a struggle. But it's been a while since I've done that. And so now that I have most of my weekends intact, I have the ability to take paid time off. I have the ability for sick days. I have paid holidays, it's, you know, on the negative viewpoint, you could say I've gotten spoiled, which I have. But like, I feel like PTO and sick days and, you know, vacation and holidays and stuff like that are very good for mental health purposes, and just general well-being. And so while I may be spoiled compared to that life I used to have to live, oh man, when I, you know, can do that stuff for myself, I like, not only do I cherish it because I have been without it before, but I'm also like, ugh, this is what it, you know, like I get to like actually reset my brain, and work in the way I used to work. That was tough. You know, my oldest was little, my husband was sick, you know, and it was just a constant financial struggle, you know, and I did it because I had to do it, but I'm glad, like, I'm so grateful I don't have to live that way anymore. Like, things are still a struggle, not, you know, things aren't perfect. There are still things that it would be nice to be able to do, but I am grateful that I have the things that I have. I've also seen people who are like, I don't take a single day of sick leave, and it's like, okay, well, you're coughing all over everybody, so stop that. But also, for the people that don't have sick leave, like, we look at you and go, what are you doing? Go home. Don't make everyone else sick. You have paid time off for sickness, you know? Because there's lots of places and lots of industries that don't do that. And man, do we wish... I mean, I worked with the flu once. And, it was, like, I shouldn't have been there. But it was St. Patrick's Day, and there was no one to cover my shift. They were all partying instead, so I got to work with the flu. And I was functional, but a little loopy. But yes, it's amazing how quickly you can get used to things. Like, I went without weekends and stuff for so long that, you know, by the time I started getting them, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to actually get rejuvenated. And now, of course, mentally and physically, my body, like, if I only have a one-day weekend, it's just like jarring now, which is so strange to think about, having had to have worked the way I used to. But you get used to a thing, and it really doesn't take long to get used to a new thing. So anyway,
Oh, Naveen would just love it here.
but I am grateful that I have the, even though I'm going to be missing like those little extra, you know, extra little lengthy weekends, I'm still grateful that I could take the days off for when my kids are home from school and have to do school at home. Because the jobs I used to have, I may not have been able to do that, you know, and that would have been really tough. I've worked, you know, jobs where I had to go when it was like blizzarding out, pretty much, where you almost get nobody, like retail jobs where almost nobody comes in, and then someone comes in and like, why are you out? I wouldn't leave my home if I didn't have to work here.
I've made so many
would
good
wait.
friends here.
But maybe they're getting home from work, who knows? Or maybe it was really important that they get the thing that night. I don't know. That was also a job where I had to keep periodically shoveling the stoop. Or mopping the floor like 4 times a night, just so that because the salt and sludge and crap that gets on people's shoes. We had this terrible floor that looked horrible once it got messy at all, wet and all that. And yeah, we'd have to mop the floor like 4 or 5 times a night, which was like, it's obnoxious. It's just gotta get nasty again in 5 minutes. Oh well. I don't live that life anymore. Okay, so I've done the garden, which means now I need a miner. Who's running around that would be convenient to snag? Not really anybody. Jafar, I believe, is a miner. So diamonds and emeralds and probably peridot. Hello. So that's the Forgotten Lands. This is the wrong button. The Forest of Valor, the Glade of Trust, the Peaceful Meadow, and Dazzle Beach. Well, that's a lot of places, so that's not bad. So I could go from the Forgotten Lands to the Peaceful Meadow to the Glade of Trust to Dazzle Beach and then to the Forest of Valor. Okay. That is the circuit. And once we get through mining, we can switch to Dreamlight duties. Is that all that's left? Memories. But memories can come pretty much from doing whatever. So I'm not going to worry terribly about the memories. Oh, that's right, because I got the Shea Remy one done. I wasn't expecting to have 5 customers at once. So that was nice. There was a duty for... Ooh, Lord, I just got a spike of pain in my head. I might have to go get, like, aspirin or ibuprofen or something on my break, which is about 30 minutes away. So I can survive 30 minutes, which is really an hour if I take it while I'm on my break, but that's okay. So... Oh, look, more diamonds could come in. I don't mind this. I probably should deal with some storage management, depending on how we get through the Starpath stuff that we're working on. I might do some storage management. Because I could really use... I've dealt with my flowers semi-recently. So I could do... Have I done fish recently? I don't think so. So I could empty my fish boxes. I could empty my raw materials boxes. I could empty... Do I want to eat? Or do I want to risk it? I don't really want to risk it. I also need to do a scour run because although I made the Lucky You stuff, so I got the rewards for it, completed the duty, all of that, I really would like to make a second cauldron. But I also was hoping to have at least one of the 4-leaf and one of the 3-leaf clover left over. Because if they make it an annual event... I would like to have a storage box with that stuff in there. And having kind of a placeholder of one of each would be great. And I have a feeling, although I did kind of run around after the event ended to see if I could pick up a few more. Look, a memory. Huzzah. Ooh, and a memory piece. Excellent. We love it when there's an actual memory piece involved. And I know I snagged a few, but I think if I made them now, like, I think I have enough to make one more cauldron already. I may run myself out of like 3-leaf clovers or something, or 5-leaf clovers, 4-leaf clovers.
I can't believe I found Simba, and he's alive.
Oh, you know what? Okay. That's alright. I kind of did the circuit a little bit differently than I wanted to. Ugh. Okay, that's a slog without stamina. So let's do this. I have no patience for that crap. Alright. So, okay, we'll go around the glade. But yeah, it's just me being particular. I don't really think it's like super important that I have space for them saved. But I used to keep the event stuff separate than all of the other ingredients, and then I just decided when I revamped again to put stuff away. with the other ingredients. So, like, the marshmallows are in with the food, and then I've got the eggs. I think the eggs are also with the food. And then the buttons I put in with the ingredient, or the, you know, like raw materials. So I could make space for the clovers. But it would just be nice. Oh, like that. Hello. But I haven't done a full run through all of the biomes to see which ones I've missed. So I wouldn't mind doing that soon, just to make sure I've picked up all of the clovers. It happens to me with the eggs too, where it takes me a while to go back out and clean everything up post-event. I'm assuming that event will happen in April, the egg-related one. Because there's some new decor objects. There's some cute stuff, too. Almost out of energy. And then I can eat that last lobster roll. Ugh, man. This tooth pain sucks. I might get my new glasses next week, though. That'll be interesting. I did have to get progressive lenses. I actually ended up getting 2 pairs of glasses. One is for, they're meant more for, like, computer work, but they don't have as good of distance, and the up-close stuff might be a little more difficult with them, but they were not terribly expensive, all things considered. And they had a special on them, so there was a discount to getting them, but I had to get them at the same time, and I thought, I was like really torn about getting them, but I am long overdue for new glasses, so I was like, you know what, theoretically this should be worth the expense, but I'm really curious about these progressive lenses, because I've never worn glasses like that before, you know, where there's like kind of 3 different views, I guess. The long distance viewing, and then up close, and then kind of this middle distance. So I was talking to a volunteer at work today, and she was like, oh, you shouldn't even really notice. Because there is, it's not like trifocals or bifocals where it's like 3 separate lenses. She told me that when she had hers, that the sunlight would hit the different lenses and like create like little light pattern stuff that would be really obnoxious and distracting for her. So I was like, well, theoretically, it should be fine. But since I haven't had glasses like that before, I'm just like, I wonder if it will actually annoy me, or if it'll be fine, or if it'll take my eyes some time, you know, to get used to it. So, it'll be nice, though, if they work the way they're supposed to work, because glasses, your prescription changing is one of those slow progression things where once you get new ones, it's like, oh, I didn't realize how hard my eyes were working. Or like, oh, that's where my headaches came from, was me compensating for the fact that my prescription has changed significantly enough to make it a strain. So it'll be interesting. I struggled picking frames, though, because I've been wearing the same glasses for so long. I was just like, ugh, none of these look right. One of the pairs actually looks a lot like the pair I have now. So, I'm just kind of getting them habit. Well, and the lady that was showing me the different frames and stuff, she was like, have you, you want some plastic frames? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, what kind of frames have you had? And I said, I think the only frames I've ever had are metal, like the wire rim or metal rim glasses. And she's like, really? And then she was surprised because I guess a lot of people pick plastic frame glasses because there's lots of color options and they make a statement. And honestly, I tried some on and I was like, ah, they just take up so much of my face. And they're just way more noticeable. So, I also said that, well, my mom never really liked them. She grew up, you know, with glasses in the 70s. Where they were really big. And, like, not very many options. So, when I was growing up, she always wanted, like, the half rim. Where you could barely see them. So, I know I was probably influenced by her opinion. But also, like, I don't remember plastic frames being, like... They're big now. Like, a lot of people wear them. But I'm just gotten used to the thinner frames. I did get a pair that has blue, though. Oh, I don't need to be mining here. This is not where we mine. Let's just pop up there. I just got an autopilot and was like, let's just mine all the nodes. No, it's not. Well, one run around gave me almost half, so maybe 3 runs will give me what I need. Oh, look, and another memory. Good for me. Huzzah. It's nice. It's nice when things work out the way you want them to work out. Just trust the process. I am looking forward to getting back to working on it. I have this thing I'm working on for decoration in my garage. And I never put it away, so I'm gonna have to dust stuff off, but it's a long and involved project. I don't remember when I started working on it last year. It might have been like August. But that means I probably only worked on it for maybe 2 to 3 months before it got too cold to really work out in the garage. So the fact that I'm going to get started on that in the spring this year gives me hope that if I don't actually get to the point of construction, I will make significant progress on it because it's just a long process. And I don't even know if I've got all the cardboard I'm going to need for it because I'm making... decoration out of cardboard, painted cardboard, but it's a big piece. I don't need to go down there. I need to go here. And I want to start on this side. I meant to do that earlier and completely spaced it. So well, and this project is one of those things, too, where theoretically, I know what I want it to be in the end. But in reality, I don't know if it's actually going to work out the way I imagine it. And it's a lot of work to not know exactly how it's going to turn out. So, I'm hoping. But in the end, if it's not as cool or as satisfying a result as what I would hope for it, I'm still enjoying the process of making it, and it's a garage decoration. It's you know, a workspace decoration. It's not I'm presenting it as a gift or I'm putting it up in a fancy space. It's not permanent home decor. It's to make my garage not look like a big ugly box. It's to add color and, you know, just that satisfaction of I made something to brighten up my space and make me cheerful, you know, feel cheerful in my space. So I'm sure even if it's not what I envision it might be, it'll still be better than a big ugly box. I have other things to put up too. I've got some more scarves because I am a scarf buying junkie apparently. But, you know, I buy them from the thrift stores and they're like usually $1, anywhere from $1 to maybe $5. And it has to be really pretty for me to spend $5 on it. But I don't know people must be wearing scarves all the time because there's always pretty scarves at my thrift shops. I'm just like, what the hell? Why is there always temptation? But I've got the components to hang some more up, and I also got myself some like fairy string lights on sale. So I'm hoping to put those up this year. I got myself some like wind chimey bells. I might put one set of them outside, but I'm so nervous that they'll die in the weather that I don't know if I want to put them outside. I think I might put one of them, and then the other one I might keep inside. But once I can open up my garage doors and there's a breeze in the garage, I should kind of get like an ambient, like almost fairy tinkling sound. They're really pretty sounding. So I'm looking forward to hanging those up. I still have some throw carpet spaces that I need. Like it's still just bare concrete floor. I've got 2 throw rugs, and then I bought a bath mat to go under my feet, like under my desk. Just because it was like $1 at the thrift shop. I was like, that's fine. I'll put it under my feet because the space under my desk is not really big. It's going to be hard to put something under there. So, ooh, 12 out of 20. Look at that. Chipping away at it. Where are we at? Oh, and we've already, we've only gone through 15 minutes of time. So that's excellent. Oh, you know what? I don't have any more lobster rolls, so I really don't need to hold out on my energy. Thank you. I'm saving these. So I had to make dream ice cream for a Starpath today. I also had to make, 5 of the bigger potions. So I did that. Oh, I could eat 2 of these. There we go. Huzzah. Oh. Fine. Get out of there. Hello. Hello, Jafar. It's like, I can squeeze through over here. Technically, I could do that too. I'm just not in that habit of going through there. I did have to... I used a spot in Eternity Isle for today's stream snap, and I completely stripped it out, and then I was like, I'm not going to put anything back in here. So it's really naked right now. But that's okay. One day I will put stuff back in it. Okay, I do need to go through the Forest of Valor because we also get whatchamahoozamajebbas. Emeralds. There we go. I knew there was a thing. What did I see was coming out? Oh, another season of Black Mirror is coming out. I'm very excited about that. I really like that series. I am a sucker for anthology series, and specifically horror anthology. Now, I wouldn't say Black Mirror is horror, but it's horror adjacent. It's also sci-fi or sci-fi adjacent because it does deal with a lot of like kind of futuristic tech concepts. But it's like I wouldn't really classify Twilight Zone as horror either, but I would also call that horror adjacent because it's, situations that are cautionary tales, which a lot of horror is cautionary tales. So I am excited for that. Only got 13 out of 20, which means I got less this go round. But that's okay. Even if it takes me 4 circuits, that's still not terrible. And at least there's no pausing. Like, if I want to just keep you know, hopping from biome to biome, I can do that. And I need this stuff anyway, right? I don't know how long it will ever take me to have like a fully stockpiled situation on gems, but I'd have to really focus to get it done, you know? Because that would be a lot of effort. I am amazed about people who have just tons and tons and tons of materials. I'm like, I don't even know how you have time to do that. Maybe if I was 20 still and had all this carefree time. And I could also game for like a full weekend, you know, all the time. I used to do that. We used to play Lord of the Rings online, and man, we would have marathon gaming sessions. Of course, that was before kids. And that was before... Was that before my husband got sick? I think it was. So, that was a whole different... Look at that! Another one. Excellent. Good for May. More reason to scour again. Alright, so we will go here. Oh, the cotton grew. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get through another round of gardening tonight. It depends on how much memories we need once we're done doing the gems. Because I think I'm going to switch to duties, because duties could also lead, depending on what it asks me to do, could also lead to memories. It just really depends on what I'm feeling like once we finish the mining situation. There we go. Excellent. Give it to me. Although I think after I'm done with this mining session, I will probably have to deal with my storage, because I know those boxes are already really, really full. And it wouldn't surprise me if I've already got more than what they can hold right now. But that's good. Every time those boxes fill up, it makes me feel like I'm that much closer to achieving stockpile satisfaction. What was the other thing we still need to get? Oh, we still haven't gone and gotten a new oven yet. Part of it is because we've just gotten used to not having a working oven. But also is like that whole weather situation where it's like, it'll be really nice during the week, and then it'll get really cold on the weekend. And it's just like, really? I don't want to go anywhere or do anything. It's chilly out. I'm such a hermit lady. 17 out of 20. And we're only on, what is this, the third biome? So we still have the beach and the rest of the glade and the forest. So if I'm very, very lucky, this circuit... Now I've jinxed myself. But if I'm very, very lucky, I will get it done in this third pass. Alright. Okay. That is a dig spot. That is a dig spot, not four-leaf clovers. The glowing bits. Like, wait, what's that? What's that? I did craft some more shovel potions. I did craft some more pickaxe potions. I guess I could have used a pickaxe potion for this. It's not super important. I don't mind a little
You
bit of
never know what
grind.
you
I
can
feel
do until
like
you've tried, right?
sometimes the grind is annoying and sometimes the grind is relaxing. Just because I don't have, like, I can just turn off my brain and just do the task. And sometimes that's really nice. Especially if you're an overthinker. I want that. Oh, I ran out of juice. I didn't even notice because I wasn't gliding at first. So when I went to try and glide, I was like, uh-oh. Oh, 19 out of 20. Excellent, excellent. And we're only at 1 hour and 25 minutes. So theoretically, we will finish right on time for this. Nice. Or I'll get screwed. I keep thinking I should get rid of this thing right here. Here, we'll sneak through like Jafar did. Because I know it's a thing, but it's kind of awkward. Yep, give me my bonus rock. Thanks. Oh, not that way. Yep, this is where I totally jinxed myself and won't get another green gem. Entirely possible. There's part of me that kind of wants to make. I know I already drank Monster, but because I've been feeling so run down lately, I'm like, maybe I should just make myself a coffee too. There is the possibility that it will screw up my sleep a little bit, which is okay. It's not great, but it's okay because it's spring break. But I've been struggling sleep. I've had to shift how I've been sleeping. I think that's also part of what's been keeping me run down is I did something to like the space on my lower back just above my left hip. Like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago now. And the way I sleep normally aggravates it. So I get to a point early in the morning where I struggle. Like I wake up and then I can't fully get back to sleep. Now, there was a study done at one point where even if you are not actually sleeping, laying in bed in the dark with your eyes closed can still be more rejuvenating than not doing that. So if you struggle with sleeping, so, I mean, whenever I have trouble sleeping and I lay there, a lot of times it can be frustrating. Like, you're just annoyed that you can't get back to sleep. I usually try and remind myself, like, if you just lay here and just relax, like, don't think about the fact that you wish you were sleeping instead. And just lay here with your eyes closed in the dark, and trust that that's at least more refreshing than not doing that. It can help me let go of being annoyed by the situation. So that's what I've been doing, but I've been getting woken up because of the pain. So was it last night and maybe even the night before where I was like, okay, you have to like consciously change how you're sleeping. Especially if you get woken up by the fact that it hurts. So I think that helped me today, but since it's been off, like, bothering me for about 3 weeks, that may also be part of my energy level problem. Oh, there we go. First node on the 4th trip around. So I'm going to stop with that. And there we go. 11 out of 15 memories. That's not too shabby. So I'm going to go deal with my inventory, my storage of gems and rocks and stuff. Bye.
We shall reconvene
Later. I might just deal with the gems. Let's see, where are we at time-wise? Yeah. I might just deal with the gems real quick and then dig spot, not 3-leaf clover. Alright. And then if we do more storage management stuff later, I might do the rocks and other stuff. But I think I just want to focus on gems right now. Okay, gems first. I believe I have crystals with the gems. I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff. Actually, I should work from this side. Because stones and gold and coal and all of that lives other places. So we'll go ahead and grab... Oh, that's right, because I had to drop some stuff off from Eternity Isle at one point. Part of the problem with these boxes right now. The stuff I brought back from a different world. That's a bummer. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do this. And then we will flip-flop this. Crystals. And excellent. Alright. Was that everything? Nope. Oh, no. Okay. We'll just come back for the food in a bit. We'll just glide up there. That's fine. We'll just do that. Hold on. I'm going to double check something. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Things are still looking okay. Alrighty, alright. Crystals are on the 8th floor. Where's this flowers? This is crystals. Fantastic. I feel like I'm going to have most stuff, but I don't remember. Ooh. Alright, so we actually have a full stack of shinies. Look at that. Nice. Ugh, it'd be so nice if they would add some of those stalls to the other worlds. Ooh, wow. What else goes in this box? Is it Vitalis crystals? Let me look. I'm asking you like you know. Alright. This is not the correct spreadsheet. I was like, where's the tab I'm looking for? Oh, I'm looking at it completely. I'm looking at my quotes spreadsheet. Dreamlight Valley stuff. And this would be gems and crystal storage. Yes. This is also where Vitalis crystals live. Okay. And then it's another C. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I forgot I split them into 2 boxes. Partially because I didn't want to limit myself on Vitalis crystals because they are necessary. Diamonds. I actually have a significant amount of shiny diamonds. Look at me go. Ooh, do I have 2 full stacks? No, almost 2 full stacks of emeralds. This is Evergems. I have an Evergem. There we go. And this is garnet. Wow, look, garnets are almost full. I mean, it's not... I'd like to have half garnets and half shiny garnets, but... shinies are so much harder to get. I don't even want to look at the quantities of materials. Oh, so that's another thing. If you have not gone and taken the survey from Gameloft yet, do it. There were some questions that I wish I could, they were phrased in a way that I was like, that makes it seem like these are the things that I enjoy doing versus these are the things I do because that's what's built into the game. and the way I need to be able to play the game in order to get stuff done is different than, like, what my preferences might be if I had different options. Oh, they're in the other alphabetical order because shiny comes before tourmaling. I was like, why are the shinies in the front of that box? Because that's how alphabets work. Alright, do I have anything else in there? No, but I do want to go down to the first floor and drop off these clovers. Ooh, I've got 7 of them. So I will have, for sure, extras of both if I make a second cauldron. Is it a cauldron? It's the treasure cauldron. Alright. I'm gonna go get my food. But yes, I took the survey. The questions were like, what are the first 3 things you do?
You should be proud.
Or what do you do first when you play the game? And then the other one, what are the last things? And you can pick up to 3 options. And the reason I thought they were phrased kind of weird was because it like I said, it makes it feel like those are the things you like doing, or the things that you know, make sure that you make time for. And it's like, I might not garden as much. Well, no, not garden, but like one of them was like, check the premium shop or check Scrooge's shop or whatever. And it's like, I don't do the same tasks every day. There are some things that I do try. Like if it was a regular day, no Starpath, no quests, none of this. Because one of the things was quests. And I'm like, a lot of times I play, there are no quests. So that's not one of the first 3 things I always do, or last 3 things I always do. But I'm always, like, if I have the choice between, you know, running around and doing gardening or doing quests, I'm probably always going to be more excited about doing quests. So I thought the way they were phrased was kind of odd. But anyway, there's a survey right now, and I would recommend you take it if you want to have a voice in, you know, where the content goes. I wasn't as excited about the questions on this survey as I was on the last survey that I did, though, because there were some things I was really excited about being on the survey the last time. So it's still nice to participate. Like I said, being a voice is on a game that I enjoy is nice to have the opportunity for. So anyway, let me look at my I'm not there. That's why. All right, so when I get back, I'm going to focus on gathering Dreamlight, which means night thorns, simple stuff. Oh, lordy be. Oh, it's you. I was like, which person is it? It could have been a child or my spouse. All right, so I will focus on this stuff. Looks like we've got fairly simple, straightforward stuff to get back to. How much do I need? Oh, I need almost all of it. But that's okay, because I had to spend 5,000 making potions. So I'm back under 10k. But it gives us a extra reason to gather Dreamlight, I suppose. So anyway, I'm going to stretch and use the bathroom and maybe get myself more caffeine. You know, do all those things. And if you're still with me or join me later, then great. If not, I will see you on the next video, stream, wherever. And yeah, I'll be back. Oh, this is the button. Nope. Why is it fighting me? Oh, because I'm clicking the wrong button still. This is the button. right. Freaking chaos, man. See, this is how you know that the universe is just always testing you a little bit. So if you're still here, Claire, I appreciate you sticking it out and accepting the fact that I am not perfect. But I thought I had everything set up. I've been doing testing stuff, and I started using a different multi-streaming thing so that I could have all of my chats combined, and it's been working perfectly. And of course tonight it doesn't. So I'm gonna do something real quick just to see, because I get lurkers frequently. So if my chat's light, then that's fine. I yak on and on and on because brain circus never stops. But I just assumed that I had lurkers, and and that, like I said, it's fine. We love lurkers. I am a frequent lurker, but I'm gonna do this and see if it shows up in my multi-chat. Okay, that shows up in my multi-chat. And then I'm going to test on the Twitch side. Thanks. I appreciate it. How are you tonight? Okay, but it's not showing my Twitch chat in my multi-chat. And I've got both of them. I don't even know. I will do what I used to do, which is I would put on the separate chats. And that way I know I'm seeing everything, and the multi-chat can just bite me. So you had asked me some questions. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit now that I can see everything. And I missed Sissix earlier. So apologies, Sissix, if you end up catching the replay of this, or hopefully I will see you again at some point. Did the survey, come up with good characters from it. Agreed. You know what to do with the keys. Are you talking about the keys that we got from Agrabah? And then you say you always check the mail in Scrooge's shop. I usually try and check Scrooge's shop, but I'm not always as diligent because I feel like I've caught up with the rotation, so I kind of get out of that habit, and it also just depends on the time. The franchises that were on there now. Oh, hello, Falavora. How are you? Or Zen. Do you prefer Zen? I think you might have told me you prefer Zen. But hope you're doing well this evening, or day, nighttime, wherever, whenever. Let's see. The franchises. I feel like my squirrel brain has not held on to what the franchises that they mentioned. Although, to be honest, except for the Disney TV shows that I think they put on there, I think they put on Descendants. And is Zombies a TV show? I am not familiar with that at all. I was just like, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to pick it. But they had up Pete's Dragon. Now, I wouldn't put Pete's Dragon at the top of my wish list. Although I wouldn't mind having, I love dragons. And I wouldn't mind having, what's his name? What's the dragon's name? It's a DCOM. Disney Channel something? Original. Is that ORN? Are my eyes really that bad? Did the survey, destroyed Vale, and voted for Snow White, Pocahontas, Dumbo, and Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm doing all right. I've been run down this week energetically, but I think it's because we're dealing with... Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it at all. So I didn't vote for that, but I just kind of voted for everything because I'm always like excited for everything in this dang game. And I always feel like I'm surprised about the characters I end up really gelling with and that I like to hang around with. I need to do some duties is what I need to do. So I don't know. I feel like the Disney Channel stuff I am not as inclined, or like the stuff that wasn't like major movies or stuff that I grew up with, I am less inclined, but most stuff I'm pretty excited about. Did not like The Veil. Aww. Well, I'm sorry. They had Finding Nemo, and I'd really love them to have like an underwater biome. I'd love to be able to turn into a mermaid and go into an underwater biome. If they can give Ariel legs and Ursula legs, they can give me a mermaid tail. And then we could hang out with all kinds of underwater critters. Do I need to open my other beverage right now? I don't need to do that. Finish your first beverage and then open your next beverage. They did mention Bug's Life, and I think it might be kind of neat to have a realm where you could shrink and hang out with the small characters as full-size characters. I don't think they'll do that, but I think that would be an interesting thing. So, but yeah, I'm interested. I feel like this survey wasn't as interesting for me as the last survey was, but they had some stuff on the last survey that I hadn't even considered. Like, they included the Muppets. Did they mention Winnie the Pooh? I think they mentioned Winnie the Pooh, and I know there's lots of people that would be super stoked about Winnie the Pooh stuff. The movies you grew up with were High School Musical and Camp Rock. See, I was when were those? Late 90s, early 2000s? I was, like, in my early 20s when those were big, so I was definitely not into those when they came out. I don't think I've ever even seen either one of them. Maybe a new DLC item that lets you shrink in the valley. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I've played a game called Grounded, and that was fun. It kind of let me live out my miniaturized fantasies, building stuff out of mushrooms and, like, sticks and, you know, flower parts, I guess. So that was pretty fun. All right, so that was that. But I'm super into the Muppets, so the last survey they mentioned Muppets. They didn't mention that at all this time. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's not as big of a draw for Disney lovers, since, you know, technically I think they were acquired by Disney, so it's not like an original IP. I really like The Veil, but I don't like the execution of spawn rate. Like, I love the biomes, particularly the Bind and the Ever After. I was really excited for giant mushrooms and the giant flowers. I love the color palette of the Ever After. And my favorite season is fall, and the Bind makes me think of fall. I work in a library, so all the book stuff makes me happy. But the spawn rate is extremely discouraging. I also really like the puzzles. They're not challenging puzzles, because I love puzzles, and the bigger the pain in the ass, the better for me. But I like that as an activity to do. And when they were saying, you know, compare Eternity Isle with The Veil, I kind of like the concepts of both of them. I really like. But I did make sure to point out the fact that the Eternity Isle has an edge because of the spawn rate for the materials. Like, it's just super discouraging to feel like I'm never going to get enough materials to make enough stuff for crafting. So, do you want to see a new tool that lets you light up areas, including torches around your valley? That's an interesting idea. I wonder how they would execute that. Just looked at the survey and another video. Coco is suggested as well. Mary Poppins, yes, and Coco. I would love more Dia de los Muertos aesthetic stuff. And pirates, yes, they mentioned pirates. I'd be interested to see how they did pirates here. You know? Because when they start bringing in things that have live action elements, especially things that, like, Mary Poppins has animated aspects, but, like, Mary Poppins herself isn't, you know, she's a live action person in that. So she, I think, would be okay to turn into, like, a cartoony version. But I don't know, like, some of the pirate stuff, I don't know how it would come off. I mean, I'm sure it'll come off fine. I feel like I'm probably just worrying for no reason. I feel like they'd probably do okay. I like the Cortez treasure chest that we have. And, like, the pirates... Is it Pirate's Booty or something? It's like a whole big hoard of treasure. I have not seen Saving Mr. Banks. I'm interested to see, like, what task you would do with, like, a tool that has lighting up, though. I still think we should be able to do bug catching with the snippet thing. I'm surprised they didn't add that as, like, a collection thing. But I'm probably thinking too much about Animal Crossing. Not that I play Animal Crossing that much, but that's, you know, when they were like, oh yeah, you'll be able to catch stuff with your net. I was like, oh, we'll be able to catch all the, like, the bugs and butterflies and stuff flying around, and then they didn't do that. Well, it's a way to add actual light to your valley at night, so sconces and torches would actually provide light in dark regions. That'd be interesting. I actually just started playing with, I mean, it's not the same thing, but the daytime slider, like the lighting, no, time slider that you can use in here, so that I could do have a daytime dream snap, because I usually don't do my dream snaps during the daytime. So I actually messed with this offset time of day slider. It's not the same thing what you're talking about, but it was a way for me to have daylight at night. Maybe we will get an umbrella like Mary Poppins. Ooh, that would be cute with like Mary Poppins, but as a glider. That'd be cute. I would like a Mary Poppins outfit. They did ask about full outfits or pieces of outfits, and I was actually really pleased with that question, because recently there was a Milo from Atlantis outfit, and it's just like, I don't want the full outfit all the time. Like, I could see wearing it, but I could definitely see wearing his jacket, like that duster that he wears, more often than I would wear the entire outfit. Ooh, let's do this one. It's easy peasy. So, yeah, and some of the questions were phrased odd. I'm sure you heard that, even though I didn't realize you were here at the moment. But, like, there are things that I do because they're built into the game, not because they're my first choice of activity to do. That's not a quest. Pastry cream and fruits. Okay. I was like, wait, what am I actually making here? Like, I can type in the word cream. Even in daytime, some regions like Glade or the woods in the Vale are way too dark. Agreed. That was the first biome I modified when I actually gave in and started taking out things that were in the game originally, was the trees in the Forgotten Lands, because it was so difficult to see stuff. And I was just like, screw it. I need to be able to see in here, damn it. The trees were also really dense at the beginning of the game, or before I started modifying things, you know. But I always am afraid I'm going to screw it up. Now I'm long past that, but like, I don't tend to alter things for a long time in games like this, because I'm always afraid I'm going to make it look worse than what it does before I start messing with it. Have a daily discussion with anybody. We could just do that with anybody. I don't even really need to pay attention to it, because I've heard all of your discussions. Ooh, and I need to play Scramble Coin with Jack. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you, Jack. But yes, I definitely encourage people to interact with those things when they come through, because although it may take them quite a while to address some issues, I do think that they try to listen to their community, even if it takes a long time. Although, with all the complaining about the gatekeeping stuff I saw for the Starpath, I feel like they like doubled down on some of that stuff this time around. With some of the gift giving, I don't know how far you've made it through the Starpath this time, but there were some ones that I was like, damn, that almost seems like oh no, we're going to keep doing this. In fact, we're going to make it harder. Hey, Bama. What tools would I want to see in game? Hope they have good characters for the summer. Agreed. I still feel like it's going to be, if it's related to Skull Rock, I think it's going to be Peter Pan. I think I'm going to be really surprised if they go a different direction with Skull Rock. Because that's what I've always felt like it was going to be. Oh, tools. How are you, Bama? Hope you're doing well. Now I have to sit here and, like, think. I don't even know. Because I'm trying to think, because usually they're tied to a task, right? And I've never really actually thought about what new tools I would see in the game. Hoping for Tinkerbell? Agreed. Haven't played in a few days? That's all right. Sometimes you just gotta take time off. Or have you not played because you've been busy and not able to play when you wanted to? Because that's a different story. Like if you're just taking a break because you want to take a break. That's different than I haven't had time and I've been itching. Where do I want to stick you, Olaf? Do I want to stick you over there? It doesn't matter. Just stick him somewhere. I probably shouldn't have put him this direction, but oh well. Gotta have Tink, right? I love Tinkerbell. I love a sassy fairy. That is for sure. I also want Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Particularly Merryweather, because she's also a sassy fairy. I can't wait till we have Maleficent. I'm so ready for her. She's my favorite villain. And I don't think they'll do it, but I really want her to have a dragon form. Like, I don't know why they would, I mean, I don't know what that would accomplish in the game, per se. But, like, that would be so awesome. That's one of, like, that's what makes her so awesome to me, is that she can turn into a freaking dragon. Aurora is coming too, right. And I'm glad that they kind of let that be revealed to us in the game, because I wasn't expecting it. So that was kind of cool to have all these letters from Aurora in the Vale and then be like, does this really mean Aurora's coming too? So that was neat to kind of have that play out. I mean, I'm sure people probably, like, so many people dig into the code and stuff. I tend not to look at leaks and spoiler stuff like that just because I want to be surprised, but it was fun kind of discovering or, like, having the realization, like, they're going to add Aurora. They didn't say they were adding Aurora, you know? On your third playthrough, what? Still forget what item activates who. Like, I found a sack on a stick in the forest and drew blanks. I don't even remember. I have not played through more than once, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head who does that activate. Still hoping for Hercules and Meg. I love Meg. I love her. She's one of my favorite ingenues. So yes, I would love for them to add her. And Hercules would be fine too. Hercules was a little late in my teenage years. So it really was through my oldest kind of... Oh, you bitch. Sorry. Eve just stole something Olaf was gonna get. Okay. But I have a newfound love for Hercules because of my oldest. I've talked about it a little bit before on stream, but I didn't realize until we were playing some kind of Disney trivia music game that I'm hoping to find out who I am song. I don't remember what it's called. He actually got sappy listening to it, and I was like, oh damn, this is like one of his songs that, you know, we all have those songs, you know, that like strike a chord at just the right moment in our development. And I didn't realize that was one for him. So I have a soft spot for Hercules, even though like Hercules growing up was not like one of the movies for me, you know. Want Pocahontas, Snow White, and Arthur. I I want Madam Mim. And I want, like, if we get Arthur, I would love for, like, Arthur and Merlin to get, like, their squirrel skins. Or, like, maybe we could have squirrels that have those skins. Snow White would be fun, and Pocahontas would be fun, too. I think I'm excited for most characters, though. Love to have Jessie and Bullseye. Agreed. Agreed. That was another big... Oh, I got defeated because I had my head up my ass and wasn't paying any attention. That's okay. He was a level 3 scramble coin. I could play him again, but I really don't want to. Sell 3 vegetables. That's probably easy enough. I'm just going to kind of meander my way through. I pushed enough on the Starpath that I don't feel like I need to, like, drive myself nuts. So we can just meander and chit-chat, because that's fun, too. Yeah, Toy Story stuff. I'm trying to think of other characters. Like Mr. Potato Head would be fun. Rex would be fun. I don't know. Some of the secondary characters, I don't know how much they would prioritize them. I want the genie. And I want Kronk. How did I draw on my dream snaps? Are you talking about, what was that one? Was that lights, camera, action? I got 1200. But congrats on your 4K.
Oh.
I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just kind of went with a dark fantasy thing. Is it this one? No, that's going green. It's this one. So this was mine. Mostly I just looked at the objects and was like, I could probably throw something together with these ones. I wanted to use this. This, like, kind of... Is it a stove? I think it's technically a stove. But it's got this green smoke on it. And I wanted to play around with, like, a different color skin because I don't frequently do that. So I just kind of went for not a specific thing. Lots of people put... Oh, I had not seen this one. This one. I'm in love with this one. What was the inspiration? It was just like a dark fantasy. That was kind of what when I started looking at the objects, I was like, ooh, I kind of like these dark purples, the dark green. I just kind of was like, she's got horns and wings. So I don't know. It wasn't even really anything specific, just like a dark fantasy, like she's casting a spell in the woods kind of thing. That's really, you know. I sometimes struggle with, like, ideas, which is probably why I can't think of a specific tool to add to the game. Ham the piggy bank. Wrote a whole dang plot for a DLC with Madam Mim in it. Fun! Even have a name, the Splintered Lands. Ooh, that's cool. But I'm in love with this. I love Wednesday. I'm ready for Wednesday season 2. So I thought this one was really cute. What were the other top submissions? This one, like kind of a classic Hollywood. So I'm not surprised that did well. I'm really glad that they put the bright lights on the side so you could really see the character. I think that's my biggest complaint when people go way over the top, is that a lot of times the lighting will blow out the character and I can't really see what's going on. So I'm glad people are... I feel like the last, like, 2-3 weeks, most of the characters have been really visible in the top submissions. So I really like that. And then this one's pretty cute, too. Another kind of classic red carpet runway. I'm surprised that some of the ones that I saw that were based specifically on movies were not the top 3, but maybe they just didn't get it in front of as many people, because I really don't know how many people get to see all the submissions, you know? Because all the stuff I see on social media, I almost never see it here. Did I put out my Dream Snaps green one? Yes, because the next one's coming out tomorrow. Oh, Lord. My spouse keeps sneaking in the room. So I didn't do anything super awesome for this week. I picked a green outfit. If I had remembered to mess with the time of day, I would have. Because I thought about it and then forgot to do it. So I just went for kind of just a green look. It's more about participation for me. So I don't expect her to do well. Of course, when I say that, I still end up getting like more than I expect usually. So fingers crossed for that. Because has I wish I could afford some moonstones right now, because this thing and the well skin and this wall set, this, like, there's so much stuff I want right now. But these buildings are so dang expensive. It's so tough because I always feel too stingy. What else is there? Is there some? Oh, no, that's it. Is that my recommended this week? Is up here? Yeah, this is what this recommended. So, wear green, the usual stuff. Did I celebrate? I didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But it's also a Monday. And it's funny because I had some green in the shirt that I wore. And I don't know if it can still show up, but like my hair is dyed green. So I got to work and they're like, oh, your shirt kind of has green in it. And I'm like, I always wear green because my hair is green. It just needs to be touched up right now. I might do that this weekend if I feel super motivated. Do I want to go ahead and garden? That would be easier while I'm yakking. She's not a gardener anymore. Mickey Mouse is, though. Okay.
Dog! Oh!
But yeah, what was this week's? This week's was my Lost Oasis. I think that snap is going to do better than my last two, to be honest. But I'm not going to show you. That video comes out tomorrow. I'll probably, well, it depends on if I stream Disney Dreamlight Valley on Sunday. I might, if I feel motivated enough, I might actually do a craft stream on Sunday. But if I stream Dreamlight Valley, odds are I'll end up showing my Dream Snap because I can't be stingy forever. You had a shamrock shake? Yeah, well, and I've got kids too, so it's, I mean, I don't think I've ever really done much for St. Patty's Day. I wasn't like a big bar person, so I never did like the bar hopping things. I had friends who were super into doing St. Patrick's Day stuff. Of course, her family is all, they're really into the Irish, I don't know, scene in town. She was an Irish dancer, you know, so they would always do big things for St. Patrick's Day. And my family's Irish, but we just weren't really, like, big on celebrating it, so it's never really been a big thing for me. And my husband isn't Irish, so he didn't really grow up doing anything besides wearing green for St. Patty's Day. 3 main villains would be Madame Mim, Cruella de Vil, and Sid from Toy Story. Set the realm where the villains live. It's taken over by the darkness, the regret, spite, and anger of them given form. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. See, you have a creative spirit. That's like always where I get stumped. But that sounds pretty cool. I like the combination of the villains there. Because those are definitely 3 villains I wouldn't necessarily put together, but I could see it being an interesting story combination, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really think about Maleficent and Hades getting, you know, pitted together. But I do like how that's being played out. I'm really looking forward to the second half. But that's pretty cool. Are you big into, like, writing and stuff? Like, creative writing? That was always something I was never excited about doing. It's kind of like I was a theater kid, and anytime we had to do improv, I was like, ugh. That is not my forte. It's probably why I struggle so much with, like, decorating and stuff and dream snaps. Just because I never think my ideas are going to be good enough, so it's probably like a skill that I've just never really exercised enough. Part of the reason I'm trying to work on it now, even if it's just for participation and not necessarily because I'm expecting to end up being the best of the best, you know? I've done a lot of writing over your life. Love to write. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always struggled with it. I feel like I get stuck in indecision land. And it's not just writing. It's part of the reason I think that as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's more about the doing of the thing rather than the outcome of the thing when it comes to creative pursuits. Because if I sit there and fret too much about the ideas and not actually doing anything, I just don't do stuff. And that's depressing. So, so it's kind of like I wrote bad poetry a lot as a teenager, and then I realized how bad it was, and so I stopped doing it. And not that I miss writing bad poetry, but I miss, like, not worrying about it. Like, not worrying about the fact that it was bad. None of this grew. Everything oh, was this all pumpkin? I bet this was all pumpkin, and that's why none of it grew. All right, that's fine. I didn't get any memories out of that garden patch, which was actually what I was really hoping for. Yeah! That's a bummer, because I need 3 more memories. I'm not going to be able to finish this tonight, but I should be able to finish it tomorrow. So I'm kind of hoping to get through these 2 tonight. If not, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I didn't. Those weren't pumpkins? What did I plant up there that takes so long? That's crazy. Did I get them all? I'm not sure what you mean by get them all. Did I say something and now I've forgotten what I've said? That's entirely possible. I should go ahead and buy that house. Because that's the only reward I haven't purchased. I think I just got 300 today. Maui and Moana and Stitch. Yeah, I'm just on day 2. So that's why I can't finish it today. I just got it yesterday. But that's okay. I'll give them gifts tomorrow. Yeah. Wrote a whole universe of superheroes. 24, all original with backgrounds that crisscross in an overarching story. Wow, that's awesome. Did you actually, like, put it out into the world? Or is this just for your own fun? Either way is fine. What was I gonna do? I went into there for some reason. Was it just to look at this? Oh, I was gonna go in and buy the thing. I was gonna buy that, because now I can actually afford it. Yay! It's super cute, this house. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do with it. It's definitely going to have to be a big chunk of an outdoor space. I have some ideas for some beach spaces, but they're not fully fleshed out, which is fine because I'm still working on interiors. Now to get extra moonstones? You put it into a book but unpublished? That's all right. That's a lot. My husband's been talking about writing a book for years, so you're ahead of him. I think he's overthinking it. That's pretty awesome. Complete with maps, sketches. Wow. That's awesome. Now I can open my next beverage. All right. To replant the garden. Mostly because I've been really low on mist, so I might as well just replant it by hand, even though that's really tedious. Oh, look at that. Dreamlight. Ugh. Winning scramble coin. Not when I'm not paying attention, that's for damn sure. Has exhibited here tonight. Ooh, my foot's falling asleep. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely... Well, I've just never really been big into writing. So that's just one of those things. It's one of those things where even if you're a creative person, like if it's not your medium, it's always so impressive when you hear about people doing stuff like that, where it's like, damn, I would probably draw chicken scratches. And it would be written like a second grader if I tried to attempt something like that. Like, I have an appreciation for music, but I do not have the discipline to be a musician. That is... I learned piano when I was young. I actually went through a lot of string instruments when I was young, but... There are times where I wish that I still played piano. But there's so much to do, and there's only so much time. And... it was obviously not what I wanted to focus my energy on, but I do have a lot of respect for people who buckle down and write books like that, or even if it's just for fun, or practice an instrument, you know, whether or not they do it professionally or not. Like, that's amazing. It is not in me. I have, you know, other things that I do, obviously, but... well, maybe not obviously. Maybe it's not obvious that I have other things that I do. But obviously I spend my time on something, I guess. We all spend time on stuff. To be fair, it probably took me just as long as your hubby. Started when you were 10 and now in your mid-30s. No, you got it done faster. And honestly, that's pretty awesome that you stuck with something for that long. And you know, actually put it down. I don't know how long... I don't know if my husband's been talking about writing a book for our entire relationship, but we've been together for almost 30 years now. And I feel like he's in dicker mode and still feels like he hasn't gathered enough information. And I know he's been thinking about the things he's interested in writing about for longer than we've been together. Now, whether or not he was thinking about putting it down as a book for that long, that may not be true. But he's been talking about putting a book together for a long time. Unfortunately, it's a very philosophical subject, which of course leads to the overthinking. Okay, do I need to put any of this in storage? Maybe the cotton. But I think I can go ahead and commit to selling these vegetables.
Hi there, pal.
And sometimes I think the longer you let things kind of stay in overthink mode, the harder it gets to actually take the first step. And I try and nudge him. But he's stubborn, and I get it, because I'm also stubborn. No, that's okay. I don't mind rambling. If you've hung out with me for any length of time, you also know that I ramble, so... it's okay. It's welcome here. And I let myself get distracted, so don't feel bad if you think that you're distracting me, because...
need anything from the market?
That's fine. I let it be a thing. I am Tangent Woman, and I come by it honestly because my dad used to give my mom a hard time about tangents. He wants a thing. I just looked at it. I didn't say it out loud, which is part of the problem. He wanted something, right? Food? I thought I'd see his face here. Was it not food? Did I not see his face even though his face was there? This is not the button. This is the button. What did you want, Goofy? Fish Creole. I must have not seen his face. Okay, but now we know what it is because we said it out loud. There we go. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to test out... Has anybody used the history button for cooking? Because I have not. I just clicked on it for the first time today. Because it's been on my HUD for ages. Why would I actually click it and look at it and see if it was helpful in any way? That makes too much sense. And I'm wondering if it's actually a useful tool for discovering recipes you don't know.
Whoa.
So I'm going to test it. Because why the hell not? I'm going to go to Remy's. And did I already get the... Okay. Serve a meal in the restaurant. Perfect. I did have to look up a couple recipes because they were wanted as gifts. And I did my usual, I'm going to try out stuff. And then if it takes me too many attempts and I get frustrated, I'm just going to look it up. So I did do that with a couple of recipes. But whatever. There were a couple of them I was on the right track. And I was like, damn, what did I just make? See, squirrel brain. All right, Stitch cupcake. That's cute. Stitch is ordering a Stitch cupcake. Is it cute or is it gruesome? Are you trying to eat something that looks like yourself? Or is it a bit narcissistic? Might be that. Or is it just cute? It might just be cute. It is Stitch after all. Did I finish the Starpath? I am this close to finishing the Starpath. Now, I've already gifted today, so I have one more day of gifting here. But theoretically, I could finish this tonight. But we'll just see if I can focus enough to do it. If not, I have one more day at least anyway. But I'm pretty damn close. Have you finished yours yet? Okay, so I want a recipe. Let me get my spreadsheet. Let me go to, I don't know, desserts? Cannoli. Ugh, I've tried to do cannoli before. Cinnamon cake, cinnamon cookies. Have I not tried to do cinnamon cookies? Let me look for a cookie. It's 3 ingredients. So could it be this, but then take out that and put cinnamon in instead? Could it be this simple? No. Where is that from? Your idea for DLC though would be Sid is regret, and he was just a kid with issues. Cruella is spite, as she's willing to do anything for that coat, and Mim is anger, as she hates all life, even sunlight. Ooh. That definitely sounds like the start. Like, you know, the start of the conflict. Who would be your heroes in that situation then? Or would there be? Where is this from? Cinnamon Cookies is from the Storybook Vale. Okay. So what sweets did we get in Storybook Vale? I mean, could it be vanilla? Oh. Could it be... Oh, could it be a different grain? Don't get that sad. Okay, so the history, I would need to actually attempt to make it, though. Right? Or is it down at the bottom? What did I just make? That was the Remy quest. That's what... Was that Remy quest? No. This was the last thing I made. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm at the right part of the list. Oh, and that could play into your tool that has light, right? With Mim and sunlight, like maybe she's making things extra dark, because you mentioned the darkness too. Again, though, what would the task be? Because I feel like all the tools have a task. Where's the survey? Let me see if I can find it. Because I had to go to their Facebook to find it. Ooh. Why are you fighting me? Oh, I see why you're fighting me, because I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Okay, let me see. That's the dream snaps. Is this... Okay. Hopefully this will let me do it. That should be the link to the survey. Thinking Quasimodo would be the unwritten hero, although they just had him in the survey. Yeah, I'm curious to see if this game goes on long enough, just how many characters we'll end up getting. Okay, so Elysian grain and barley and fairy rye. Nope. barley. Oh, no. Well, he wasn't happy about that. Oats. So maybe it's not as simple as the cookie. Is there a dairy? I mean, there's eggs. Is that the only cookie that it could be like? I mean, ginger wouldn't be bad either. So, ginger? A little spice cookie? No. I really should try a see, my problem with this, like, if I do this, and then I do this, yeah, it's just going to show me unnecessary ingredients for this outcome. It's not going to necessarily give me a hint. I was kind of hoping it would give me hints for recipes I don't know. And I don't think that's how the history is built. Which is unfortunate, because I've got issues with some of the recipes and how to figure them out. Okay, I'm not focusing on cooking right now. That's not what we're doing. No! I hit the wrong button. My hands went back to the wrong spot. Okay, okay, okay. We're focused. We're focused. Sort of. Maybe. We'll find out. No, no, no. No worries. I know sometimes there's a delay and stuff, and people have real lives to live, too. Like, I'm just trying to think of, like, what... That's my problem with trying to think of a tool to add to this game, is, like, it's not just the tool, it's the task associated with the tool. But yeah, I could definitely see something like that playing into the story you're conveying. Okay, I know what I'm doing next. I'm not worrying about Dreamlight duties. Because that's taking some brain power that apparently I'm just not willing to give it, so whatever. I'm not going to put that in there. I'm going to put that in here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this stuff. I want to do some storage management because I need to. Because I dealt with gems earlier, so now we can deal with some of this crap. And we can see if I've restored some of the stuff that I crafted away. You know, I thought I had a huge stockpile of stuff, and then I started doing crafting, and I went, oh, I really don't have enough of everything at all. I still have a sad amount of dark wood. Ooh. It will be nice getting done with this Starpath, though, because I definitely need to go work in Eternity Isle, and I have not been doing that because some of those bigger duties that we got on the Starpath did not lend to going and taking care of stuff in other worlds. Floor 8. I think I might do one more floor of inside and then decide if I want to start working on outside decorating. I almost felt motivated the other day to start doing the plaza. I'll take that as a good sign. Because since I'm not a big decorator, it'll be nice to, like, feel motivated, you know? I really should look at my thing. I don't have this memorized at all. If they add pirates, how about a tool that summons a usable ship? That's interesting. That would be a lot to add to the game, though, for sure, since we don't really have travel in that way. Not that I wouldn't want them to do that. Refined materials? No, I'm not looking for refined materials. Although, well, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, like, since they're talking about more aquatic stuff, like, I'm just curious to see how would we make friends with Dory the way the game is right now. Like, before we could have Ursula and Ariel walking around, it was kind of frustrating trying to befriend them because we couldn't take them. I still wish we could give them task stuff too. Because now that they have feet, it seems silly that we can't do that. But, and I don't know why they didn't. I mean, I guess because it would be, I mean, I don't know how they would code it, but like you couldn't have them come around with you for a duty while in their octopus or mermaid form. Oh, that's right. I used up a bunch of gold. I forgot. Okay. I did my math wrong and tried to make a bunch of gold ingots and then used up way more gold than I meant to, so. Oh well, gold's really abundant, so I'm not terribly stressed about it. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I'd like to see them add, like, a place to go where you could be in a mermaid form or in a fish form even. Like, you could take inspiration from Sword in the Stone and have a fish form or something. Not much different than, say, the carpet we mount. Not that big of a stretch to have a ship. Yeah, but you'd have to have destinations. I mean, they could. It's, but it would be a lot to add. Like, when they added the carpet, it didn't give us new places to go. So we'd actually have to have places to go. But that would be kind of cool if they did that. I'm in the wrong part of the alphabet. Where do I need to be for this? I need to be in row 4 in the last box. Okay. There we go. Good for me. I can't believe that hardwood is full. No, I can believe that now that I'm thinking about it. Iron is full, though, so let's craft that up. How much do I have over? 180 or 285? Okay. But yeah, that would be cool because wouldn't mind seeing expansion. Well, and now I'm thinking about, like, if it was a DLC that was a lot. It's Waterworld with Kevin Costner. No, let's not do that. But, like, you could have pirates, but it could be a lot of islands. But then you could also have, like, underwater spaces for, like, you know, the Dory, Finding Nemo people, maybe Atlantis? What is the name of Ariel's kingdom? Is it Atlantis? I feel like it's not. Ariel's. Oh. Atlantica. There we go. I was like, it's not Atlantis. So in the new DLC, it'd be islands. Oh, there you go. Were you saying that as I was sitting here? That's funny. Okay, so I'm making golds. No, I'm making iron. I'm using up 285. We'll say 286. Am I doing my math right? Got paranoid because of the time I screwed up the gold. Okay, so this is 99. So 100, 200, 85. 285 iron ore. Okay. Math skills. So that's 198, right? I should still have more than that. Yes, I'm not doing it wrong. I'm all paranoid. Ugh, and it doesn't take it out of my inventory first, so I have to trust that my math is right. Okay, so that was 198. So what is that? 88 to go? Yeah. Math and stuff. We'll just trust it, and then we'll go see if I screwed it up again. I can always get more iron. This is where I discovered that I'm going to need iron for the next room I want to make or something. Is it here? Nope. Okay, good. I didn't mess it up. How do I have this much more? Do I have iron stashed somewhere else? What? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I must have iron stashed somewhere else that I don't remember. Do we get iron in the Vale or Eternity Isle that I'm not remembering? Okay. So I could make more. I'm making raw iron. Wait, what? Damn it! I didn't realize I could make iron ingots out of wrought iron. Balls. I scrolled down. I should have stayed up here. Okay. Okay. Autopilot. This uses 495. That's way too many. I was wondering why it was giving me such good return. Okay. That's okay. This is why I do Remy's quest every day, so that I have plenty of wrought iron. Okay. It's fine. Oh, look at that. Let's do that then. Alright, so I still have 409 raw iron. I just want to see... Ugh, this is why we need filters and searching here. Okay. Self-sabotage. Whee! Alright. We just have to laugh at how ridiculous we get. That's just, you know, that's how we stay sane. Alright. This is not wrought iron. What? I'm looking for, like, the benches and stuff. Okay, so these, yeah, I've got plenty. Okay. I've got plenty. Except for, like, this thing, but I probably won't make a million of those. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to make 14 Parisian statues. And then this. I might make a ton of those just for decorative purposes. But, like, the chairs, I could make a significant number of these. Okay, good. I didn't screw myself too... Oh, man. Well, that would explain why nothing was coming out of my inventory. Okay, I don't have anything else to stick in here. It also goes to show just how much wrought iron I had gotten from Remy. It's kind of like Daisy's Boutique. I just don't pay that much attention. And then when I finally look at it, I'm like, and I start doing the math of how much, you know, how many days in a row it must have taken me to acquire that many, what's her points called? Like her boutique points or whatever they're called. You do the math on how many, you know, 100 points a day. I had like 4,000 something. I was like, oh, that's like 43 days in a row or something. You're still here, Bama. Did you go take the survey? If we don't sabotage ourselves, no one else is going to get it done. Well, I don't know about that. But... we do have to make sure that we keep, you know, like, testing ourselves to see, like, it's like testing our own patience. And no one else can annoy us like we annoy ourselves, so it's the best testing. All right, I need to figure out where I'm putting this now that I have used up wrought iron to make iron ingots. Okay, row 1. Row 1, last box. There we go. All right. And then I don't want to sell the wood. I'm paranoid now because I used to sell off my extra resources before I realized, because I wasn't crafting back then. I feel like the hardwood isn't used in as much. This is where a filter would be really nice. I'm not going to look for it. I'm just going to hoard it and not think about it. But I know I've sold off like softwood and stone and stuff like that, and those are in so many recipes, and you can blow through that stuff so fast when you craft that it's just like, I should never have sold that stuff. Like, ever. I don't think I ever sold off dark wood, although I can't say that I know that for a fact, But I feel like I need to hope that I never sold off Darkwood, because now that I know that I need it so bad, there we go. That would be depressing if I realized that I had sold it. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Anything to have more input in a game that we love. I wonder if they're gonna do another DLC this year. Because wasn't Eternity Isle the year before? Do I want to just throw this in here and just be done? I feel like there's at least one more place that I need to get resources from. So I'm going to stick the sand back here so I can just do it all at once. I wonder. Ooh. All right, phone. I don't need your alarm. Thank you. But yeah, I wonder if they will. I feel like they tried to do too much this last fall, and it ended up resulting in a lot of glitchy stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if they take a little bit longer to put out another DLC. Of course, it also wouldn't surprise me, because it's still a company. If they wanted to put out another one this year, they still need to finish the Veil. True. That's true. I need to alphabetize this so I can see what I have. That's a refined clay. But I don't remember. I know they did Eternity Isle in 3 parts, but it... Well, now I'm curious. I want to know. When did Eternity Isle come out? Because I don't remember. That came out in December of 2023. So yeah, it was a year later. Well, a little bit less than a year later, because wasn't it November for Storybook Vale? Because I know it was the fall. And then they released the content in 3 parts. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put out another DLC this year. But I also wonder, like, because there was so much glitchiness when with the So Delightful and the Veil came out, like, there was a ton of stuff that seemed like it was really rampant as far as, like, glitches and bugs. So it makes me wonder if they would actually delay putting out another expansion pack. But yeah, I really want them to... The spawn rate in particular. I'm just going to keep griping about it because it's irritating as hell. I want more stuff. Did I have fairy bubbles somehow? No, I looked at a box with fairy bubbles in it. I'm like, how did I remember saying that? All right, what else goes in here? Gold ore. Gold. Oh. Keep clicking on the wrong button. Gold nuggets. It's not called gold ore, it's called gold nuggets, because why would we use consistent terminology? That seems weird. As a library person, it drives me crazy. Don't even get me started on the place setting plates things. Like, that stuff drives me nuts. Alright. But also have snowballs and softwood. And that's all that goes in here. So that goes here. No, that's quartz. I'm a row off. Okay, that's fine. Oh. And then softwood. All right. Oh, I'd like better signs. I'd like to be able to label this. Open softwood. I don't know if that sounds right, but that's what I want it to say. And then I need refined materials. Okay. Good, good, good. Making it through, making it through. Should I go get snippets? I kind of feel like I should, but it might get laggy if I do that, because I have so many dang lure traps now. It might... Sometimes it lags, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's not consistent. Like, I thought maybe it would be because I was streaming, that it was just taxing my system just enough to be problematic. But it's not always like that. Sometimes it's when I'm not streaming, and sometimes it doesn't lag when I am streaming. So I don't know what the hell. I don't know why it's so finicky. We can just blame it on the veil, though. Because that seems like it would be a fair thing to blame it on. So November to April is 5 months and still no part 2 of 3? What? Of what? Are you talking about the Veil? Because the Veil's going to come out in 2 parts. Instead of Eternity Isle was done in 3 parts, but when they announced the Veil, they said they were going to do it in 2. So it was going to be a longer break in between the parts, but they were going to do the story. Yeah. So summer is when we get the second half of the Veil. Yeah. And I'm ready because I want Maleficent. Even if the Veil isn't, like, perfect. Like, the aesthetic stuff that we got and Maleficent definitely elevate it for me personally. I know it's, like, it's got lots of flaws. But, like, but those 2 things definitely help me feel better about the purchase for it. And I still have hopes that they'll fix the kinks in it. I kind of wish they had done more when they did all the fixes from the last update, but what am I looking for? I'm looking for tinkering parts. There we go. So many dang snippet boxes in here. Should I go ahead and craft this into fabric? I probably should. And gold ingots. I completely missed putting gold ingots away. That's alright. We didn't leave the room yet. Okay, I'm gonna go craft up the fabric. Hopefully I won't craft the wrong thing again. Okay, fabric takes cotton. How much cotton do I have? I have 86 extra. Okay, which means I need to use up, it's probably in sets of 5. Yeah. So what is that? 90? There we go. That's fine. I wonder if they'll give us any more. Besides Aurora and Maleficent, I wonder if they'll sneak in anything else. I'm really looking forward to the Alice in Wonderland stuff, too. I'm ready for all the objects and all the clothing items and all of that. I'm so ready. I hope we get the Cheshire Cat. I wonder if we'd get any other characters in that. Because I feel like frequently they release them in sets of 2. But I am looking forward to creating an outdoor space using... Wasn't it a premium shop thing? The, like the hedges. There was like a Alice in Wonderland hedge thing. Ugh. Is it not under Alice in Wonderland? Is it a non-Disney related thing? They need to make this searchable, too. I feel like there should just be a search function in any list style menu. Is it a hedge? Nope. What did they call it? Arch? Oh, God, that's got way too many returns in my spreadsheet. Fountain? That's got a lot of returns, too. Enchanted Ice Fountain. Chanting Fountain. I don't know if it's that. But I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. There's like a Alice in Wonderland themed like hedge maze pieces. So I'm really looking forward to... It is here. Okay, so like these things. And then there's an arch too. Curious Labyrinth entrance. And then the Cheshire Topiary. I really want to make an outdoor space, like an outdoor hedge maze. But then I thought about doing a chessboard. I don't know how I'd pull that off on the floor, on the ground. I could do it with pathing. And then use the figurines from Scramble Coin to make a chessboard. Kind of in the middle of a hedge maze. I don't know which biome I'd do it in, and I don't know how big of a space I would... Maybe it could be on a floating island. But I am looking forward to Alice in Wonderland stuff. Biggest personal annoyance in Vale is the spiral strawberries and the star sapphires. Literally reskins of stuff we already had. The star sapphires are a reskin? Only 4 gems. Oh, so you're like upset with the limit, I don't know, less stuff, like less variety maybe? What is the... Hold on. Did we have a star-shaped gem already? Or was it because it was a sapphire? I guess we don't have a star-shaped. Are you talking about like it just being another sapphire? Yeah, especially since I can see that complaint for sure. Because it's not like we don't make stuff with star-shaped gems in them. Oh, yeah. I could see that. Yeah, and I get the fact that, like... And yeah, magma and was it ice? The ice one? I was like, those are gems? That seems kind of odd. And you already know favorite food. So spoiler for people who may not have either gotten the Veil or know what the favorite foods are of the critters over there. This is your warning. So you can sit there and go la 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 while I say it. But like the magma and pure ice being the baby dragon's favorite foods, I would never have known. I don't think I would have ever thought to feed that to the dragons. Unless someone told me. That seemed very strange to me. And I know we don't have meat in the Vale except for seafood and fish. I still don't understand why owls eat barley. Like, that also doesn't make sense to me. It was just like, I would never have thought of it. I think someone told me that as well, where it was just like, why? You know they eat meat, right? Like, that's kind of their thing. Oh, I have extra food right now. I was like, why do I have extra thingy? I made a milkshake by accident. Yeah, I would definitely like to see them. Somebody was complaining about having garlic in too many places, and I agree with that too. Where it's just like there are so many seasonings in the world. Like you could easily give us something besides that. There's also a stunning lack of like even just the sticks we already get. Like why don't we get sticks over in the Vale either? That seems odd. I'd take more darkwood. Another frequent complaint of mine. I need more darkwood. Okay. Do I want to try and work on this again? What do I have for Dreamlight? Ugh. Easy stuff. I kind of feel like I want to just mine, but maybe not. Is there a miner around? I don't care enough. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm hitting the wrong buttons again. This one. In the Vitalis mines. Yeah, I get those complaints for sure. Like the seeming like they just redid some stuff that we already had instead of giving us some new things. Like, and I think if the biomes were not as enticing to me, then those things would definitely have a bigger impact on my perception. But I tell you, when I saw the stuff for the Ever After, I squealed like a child. But if they didn't add that, and it was, you know, just another biome. Like, I'm not super excited about Mythopia. So I'm glad that was the only biome that I felt that way. I mean, it's fine. It's another biome. I'm glad it's different than the other ones. That's nice to have different stuff. But yeah, the Ever After in particular, the fairy, like the little fairy that lives inside my heart, was super stoked about giant mushrooms and glowing mushrooms and the flowers. Like, that could also be an Alice in Wonderland thing, because it reminds me of, like, when she's shrunken down and she goes and they're singing. What is that? What is the song they sing to her? All I can think of is Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and that is not from Alice in Wonderland. Ah. Another thing is, so many people were complaining about getting pricey meat from Gaston, but then Gameloft did the exact same thing with Goofy Salt in the Vale, and not a peep from the community. Huh. I did not know that people were... Well, I don't tend to pay attention to a lot of the complaining stuff, because I don't... Like, I do and I don't. Like, I feel like I have to make sure my skin is thick so that I don't get too disgruntled, because I've only got so much energy. So I try to let a lot of stuff just kind of slide. Not that I feel like they should get away with stuff, but just, like, I don't want it to damage my calm, to quote one of my favorite shows. I didn't know people were complaining about that. Yeah, the ingredients in the Vale were pricey for sure. The other thing I'm bothered by, at least minorly so, is the fact that there are now seeds that produce crops that actually make you lose money. I thought that was a strange idea as well. I also noticed that a lot, if not all of the seeds, most of the seeds from the Vale only produce one crop per seed. Which I was like, that seems kind of odd to me too. You tore the Vale apart in the survey, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you definitely have some very strong feelings about some of the stuff. And not that I disagree with you. Like I said, I think the fact that I was so excited for the Ever After, I enjoyed the puzzles. I keep thinking, like, if they could fix some of the big flaws, like, what I feel are the biggest flaws, like the spawn rate, I think is my biggest complaint overall. Is I feel like it feels like more grindy than it's worth, which is unfortunate, because I think Eternity Isle did a lot of stuff really well for their grindiness. Better even than some of the Valley stuff, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's much easier to get missed. And I got this thing done, and I should probably do that. Alright, well, let's do this really quick. And, like, I feel like the spawn rate is really good. Just as good as the Valley, if not better than the Valley, even. I don't really care for time bending that much, but not so much so that I never want to do it. Just like, oh, I really should make time for that. Kind of, that's how I feel about fishing, too. But I feel sad when I go to the Vale and it feels empty. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot. I mean, I don't look around and see, you know, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minimum. 16? At least 16 things on my screen that I could run around and gather right now. And whenever I go to the Vale, I'm lucky if I see 16 things in a whole section. Like, I couldn't even see, you know, the flowers here, and stuff over in this corner, and stuff over there behind the buildings. Like, I never feel like any of the areas over there are that full of stuff. So it just always feels super empty. Now, I could decorate over there, and I could fill it up with other stuff. It is more, I feel like more characters hang out there now, but characters didn't even seem to hang out there that much, unless it was necessary, or that they were there already. So, like, Flynn and Merida and Hades. And the people that are there now are the people that I moved there, but there are other characters that show up more regularly, and I feel like that was probably part of the update. Do I want to... I feel like I'm just meandering around. Part of it's because I'm getting tired. Oh, that's why, because I didn't actually tag these to go get them. Part of it's because I'm tired. And part of it's just because I've been feeling kind of low energy for like a week now. I hope the sun comes out this weekend. I'd love to just, like, Saturday, just throw open my garage door and just have the breeze and have some sunlight, hear some birds, you know, spring stuff. But it's fair for them to hear complaints. Maybe they shouldn't have put out another, you know, what was that? Not even a full year later. Maybe they should have waited a little bit longer to put out another DLC. You're gonna head to bed? Old man bedtime hours? I get it. The only reason I feel like I'm a little bit more awake is because I haven't been getting up at 5:45 this morning, or, you know, this week, because of it's spring break for my kids, so. Normally I would be right there with you. In fact, I'm probably going to wrap it soon, because I have a feeling it's not that bad. I'm not doing too bad. But thanks for hanging out and sharing your ideas, and it's interesting to hear other people's opinions, because sometimes I feel like I don't always pay attention. So it's interesting to hear that stuff. As long as I don't let it affect me. Like, deep down inside. I have to just kind of breathe. Some people get really passionate. I think that's why I have to have my defenses up, just in case, like, people get, like, really high energy when they're feeling passionate, you know? Oh, you know what I was supposed to do? I was supposed to take a dang picture. I'm on autopilot. This is not how we take pictures. I do this when I'm doing my dream snaps all the dang time. I hit the wrong button like 4 times in a row. Now, I put my video on high speed, but it's just like, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. It doesn't help that V is the outfit, but then when I'm doing my snap, I have to right-click my mouse and then do V to do the back, like this view. Which is why I'm always hitting V before I actually get into camera mode. Alright. Am I gonna do anything else? I'm kind of staring at stuff. I love how the Dreamlight fruit trees sparkle in the distance. I love that. Alright. I should sell these mushrooms off. I'm gonna go sell the mushrooms off. I'm gonna see if there's any more quick, sneaky duties to sneak in. I said sneaky way too many times there. How do you know you're getting tired? You repeat yourself without really needing to repeat yourself. That is your first clue. U is the correct button. Harvest 3 raspberries. We could do that real quick. I'll just have one more potato chip. And then I'll just have one more potato chip. Okay, all of that's going to take too long. I don't feel like feeding any animals. I'm not going to bother. Okay. Since my brain is getting tired, I should probably take it to bed soon. So, this should be done before Sunday. There's no reason I can see why I wouldn't finish this up before Sunday. So, Sunday may or may not be Dreamlight Valley. It depends on how motivated I feel to get to a crafting stream. But there's also the possibility I might switch up my game just to kind of have a change of pace. I've been hitting this game so hard lately, and I'm not really burnt out on it, but I'm almost feeling like I need to do something different. But I don't know. It just depends on, it depends on how the next 2 days go. It depends on how I feel Sunday morning when I get up. But, yeah, the possibility exists that I might switch it up on Sunday. So we'll just have to wait and see what my whims are like in the next few days. But even if we come back, there's always stuff to do in this game. And, yeah, we can just chill on a Sunday morning together if you join me then. New Dream Snaps video tomorrow. Should be a new decorating video. If I can get that put together, I should be able to. It's fine. But I'm doing a bathroom next. That's what I'm doing next. because I'm working on a guest suite. So I've got a sitting room and a bedroom done, and then I'm going to do a bathroom and another bedroom. And then I might do like the fifth floor might be my first like workshop type spaces so that I can get not the craft room that I had before in the game that I completely stripped and did away with, but like something close to it. So I might do that on my fifth floor, and then we might try and do an outside space, but I don't know. We're 2 rooms away from any of that, so we'll just see how that plays out. But yeah. So without further ado, I hope you have a lovely day, night time, wherever you are, whenever you are. And I will see you next time. Bye.